We're back to writing the essays. Now, I took a survey last week and you guys voted for problem solution essays. Then let's make it happen. Now, we've already covered the agree or disagree essays. We've already covered the two views essays. And if you missed that, I'll link it below. Now, you might actually feel a little lost following along with my essay template videos because you might not have seen the outline video or the brainstorming video. So I'm just gonna link all of the essay related videos below. So you check that out, and if you feel a little bit lost, that's gonna help you understand what I'm talking about. Now I'm also gonna link the document that we're gonna be using in this video. So if you wanna print that out and follow along, feel free to do so. Now, if you want a copy of the actual templates, hit me up on my Instagram. I'm gonna link my Instagram right here. Just hit me up, send me a message, and I will send you all of my PTE structure essay templates free of charge. Now, the structure templates, they're suitable for those people who are comfortable with writing sentences or they don't feel like memorizing a whole lot of things, right? And that's perfectly suitable for that. But if you are more comfortable with memorizing everything and having the entire essay pretty much already written out and you just gotta memorize it, well, I got a solution for that as well. That is called my full essay template. Now, that is actually only available in my courses. So if you're interested in that, you gotta check out my website. Now, with that said, y'all ready for this? Let's get into it. All right, so let's jump right into the essay template because you already know how to get a copy of these templates. You have seen these before. I've done the structure, I've done the brainstorming. So let's jump straight into it. This is what the template looks like. We will structure it in a very similar way as the previous essays. And again, this is more suitable for people that don't like to memorize too much and they want to write by themselves. So as you can see here, you will write your own simple sentences. I won't be asking you to write anything that's out of your comfort zone. And once you are done with that, again, you'll just insert it into the template. The template is not something you complete, not something you read and complete the rest of the sentence. It's not that kind of template. So before we even go to the first step, what do we do first? Before we even think about the essay itself, what I want you to do first is type the template out first. So let me show you what that looks like. And here it is. As you can see, the essay template has already been typed out. Now, this is what you want to do on the actual exam. Before you start even writing the essay, you type the template out first, and you just start filling in the information afterwards. You should spend about 5 minutes typing out the template. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, how do you even know what kind of essay you're going to be getting? Well, that's the reason why if you compare all of the essay templates that I created, depending on the topic, because you see I have already talked about agree or disagree, two views, and this one is the problem solution. How do you know which one you're going to get? Well, first of all, most of the essays will be agree or disagree. Sometimes you'll get something different, like this one is problem solution. So what if you get that? Well, the only thing that ever changes is probably 3 sentences at the most. So if that's not the essay you get, you can just change 3 of those sentences. Now, as for myself, every time I take the exam, I don't rely on the essay to help me get the 79. So I don't really care about the essay score, because I can get my writing points from the listening and the reading. I always write agree or disagree. I don't actually care if they ask me agree or disagree. I will always write agree or disagree. And sometimes I get a really bad essay score, but I don't get under 79. I will always get over 79 because of my listening and reading. And that's why I say I don't really rely on the essay to get my points. But if you need the essay to get your points, then you want to try and answer the question a little bit on topic, because usually I'm completely off topic. Now, with that said, you have the essay template typed out, and now we will go to step 1. And what is step 1? We want to identify the essay topic in order to identify the body topic, because this is the brainstorm. So let's read the essay topic. And it is, what problems can be created when people spend too much time on work than their personal life? And that is the question they're asking us. Now, down here, they're asking us to solve that. So again, this is a problem solution essay, but we do need to create the noun, the essay topic. And by reading this, what is that noun? Normally, I would just take one word like time or even work, but that really doesn't tell you much about the essay topic. So this one right here, I might have to take the phrase because the verb is also part of that topic. So I will go all the way up from work to spend, and I'll use this. I'll highlight this for you. I'll use this as the essay topic. Now, spend is a verb, so we can't use that as a noun. So hopefully you know how to change a verb into a noun. This will require you to know a little bit about parts of speech. But I'm talking about right now, if you ever have a verb and you need it to be a noun, because now we're going to create a phrase, a noun phrase, what do? We would change this to ing. Spending too much time on work. Now that becomes a noun phrase. So we can use this later on. Once we have the essay topic established, it is time to create the body topics. Body 1, body 2. Body 1 is the problem. Body 2 is the solution. That is the topic that they want us to talk about. As you can see here, for the topic, I don't need you to write sentences. We just need to create a noun. A noun will be enough to create that topic for the body. So we need to create a problem that comes from spending too much time on work. I'll just think of a word like, I'll say exhaustion. If I can just type it right. Done. Exhaustion is the problem that comes from spending too much time on work. All right. And then now let's just finish off the topics. Let's create a solution for exhaustion. What is something we can do to solve the problem of exhaustion? Let's think of another noun. Let's say I'll take this word, taking breaks. All right. Now, I'm not trying to write anything compelling. I'm not trying to be printed in a newspaper. We're not going to impress anybody with our writing. We just want to fill up the word count with good grammar, right? And as you can see here, that is the topic sentence or the topic of the body. And every time we write, you can see by now, every time we write, we will have 4 sentences in the body. All right, we will be writing 4 sentences, but the first one is already written for you. You will see. So now we go to the supporting reasons inside the body. The supporting reasons, right now, I'm still just going to write down some words to give me ideas, right? It's the structure of it right now. You want to be familiar with the structure. So when you get to the real exam, you don't need to think about boxes and stuff like that. So right now, we're just practicing step by step. You will not do this on the actual exam. You will just start writing the sentences. But by then, you will already know what the sequence is. So now I always ask you the same questions. If you compare the past essays, you will see it's always the same questions. So here, how or why does it happen? What is that referring to? Exhaustion. So why or how, right? I was thinking why, so I said that first. I'll give you the why. Let me think. I'll say a lack of sleep, right? Why are they exhausted? Well, they have a lack of sleep. I will create a sentence later. For now, that's my idea. And then next, what is the result? You can either say a result of exhaustion, all right? You can say for this, or you can say as a result of a lack of sleep. It doesn't really matter what you write. So for me, I'll just say poor performance. Done. Do you agree? I'm not using anything compelling, right? No difficult vocabulary words. Think you know all of these words? If you have a lack of sleep, you have poor performance at work, right? We're talking about work. So that's the first thing that I thought of. And then now here, example. I always tell people to write a specific example. It doesn't have to be true. Just name something. You can name a country if you don't know anything else. But since they're talking about work, talking about businesses, well, I always use these big names. All right, I'll say something about Apple. And then now let's talk about solution. Taking breaks. Well, then ask the question, how do we take breaks? Or why do we take breaks? How do you take breaks? Is that something somebody has to teach you? I hope not. So let's just say what we can do, how we can do it. Let's say we set a break. Let's set a break when every hour. I think that's something that we should do, right? I'm not sure. Next, after we set a break, what is the result? What is the result either of taking breaks or setting a break? What do you think? What can be a result of that? I would say we take a break, we can rest, reset. I would say reset. I typed reset and I was thinking rest. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But reset is good. Reset the mind. I was going to say rest the mind, but hey, either way, I don't care. And then the next one, example. Again, we're still talking about work, companies. So let's talk about the enemy. Let's talk about Google. Whatever you say, whatever you make up, doesn't matter. Again, who's going to read this? Nobody. And that is our brainstorm. We have created the ideas that we want to talk about. And the next thing we want to do would be step 2. What do? Create sentences with these ideas. And that's what I want to do now. But because I'm just going to be typing out sentences, this is where I'll fast forward it. All right, you don't need to hear me think out loud because I talk a lot of shit when I'm thinking. But yeah, I'm just going to type out the sentences. Hopefully you can see me type out a simple sentence, and then I'll go in and add some adjectives or maybe adverbs. But I'm not trying to write a complex sentence. One verb. All right, I'm not going to link any sentences. If you want to, you can. But remember, I'm trying to show you how to do this the easiest way as possible without trying to overwhelm yourself by writing difficult sentences. So let's get to work. And done. That was step 2. I created sentences from the words that we brainstormed. All right. And as you can see here, for the first sentence, I didn't write a sentence. I just used that noun. You will see it later because in the template, all you really want to do is put the noun into the first sentence. And then I created sentences from the words that I thought of in each body, right? As you can see here, we talked about a lack of sleep, and that's here. I created a sentence for that. I went in and added adverbs and adjectives to increase the word count. All I care about is the word count. Here we talked about poor performance, and then I talked about that here, poor performance, and then I added productivity, just in case, just to increase my word count a little bit, right? And lastly, I said I'll talk about Apple, and I made up something about Apple. Does this have to be true? Hell no. And then we move into the second body. The second body here, taking breaks, same thing. And then set a break every hour, and I established that right here. And remember, a verb becoming a noun, I did setting. And then here it says reset the mind, and I wrote the breaks will reset the mind, and then I made up something about Google. And that is it. That is the second step where we created the sentences. Now we can go into the third step. And the third step is to take each sentence. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to take the sentence and the words that we have created, and we're going to put them into the template that we have already typed out. And as you can see here, just that noun, right? So we know what we're going to put here now. And noun from the topic, we already know that as well. The noun from the topic is spending too much time on work. And then we're going to put the noun from the body topic, and you'll see, I'll put it in step by step. So what I'll do first is I'm going to insert the sentences that I created along with the noun for the body. So what I'm going to do is basically finish off the body. While I'm doing that, I'm going to speed up the video again as well. Basically, I'm going to be copy and pasting and formatting. You don't need to hear me talk to myself again for that. And then when I'm finished, I will slow back down, and we're going to talk about the intro and the conclusion. Y'all ready? Let's do this. And we are done. Hopefully you noticed that what I did was basically take all the sentences that we wrote as part of the brainstorm and the sentence creation, and then I took it and copy and pasted. In the bodies, there's going to be 4 sentences. Each sentence is already spoken for. And as you can see, I didn't really care whether or not the sentences worked grammatically when I put this sentence in here, because it's supposed to work. If you write your own sentence, a complete sentence, and you put it in here, that's going to be enough. I didn't make up a sentence, erase half of it, and ask you to complete it. That's the other templates that you find on the internet. We're not required to do that here. And once you have that body, remember, I separated the sentences so it's easier for you to read. But we should put this into paragraph form. So I'll do that for you right now. And you can see that this is going to be our body 1 and body 2. And once I finish with this, I will show you how to do the introduction and the conclusion. And there it is. So even though the introduction is first, I'm going to do the conclusion first. All right. And the reason is because most of the information is already there. So for example, right here, I mentioned it in the previous tutorial about the 2 views essay. I always write the same thing here. It is expected that this trend will continue to increase in the future. Doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. That's what I always write. So you don't actually need to create your own sentence there at all. And then here, do you see paraphrase body 1, body 2? Well, we already have those sentences created. So let's just copy and paste that. Now here I need to pick, is it a cause or a problem? We're writing about problems. So let's copy this sentence right here, right? Because we need this sentence and then we need to put it here. Now I'm not going to use the whole thing though. I'm not going to use the whole sentence. I am going to shorten it as we look at it. But right now it's a complete sentence. And then you see here, are we writing something that's similar or opposite? Well, it's a solution, so it should be opposite. So I'm going to take, I don't need your opinion here. Just take this, the complete sentence itself. We're going to copy it and we're going to paste it here. But remember, we're not going to keep the whole thing. It's just for the time being. I'll put it up here. And then now let's start cutting it down. So the main problem related to spending too much time on work is exhaustion. Let's change this. Let's say instead of problem, let's just say the main issue. Okay, the main issue related to spending too much time on work is exhaustion. Let's just leave that. We don't need to paraphrase it too much. Just change words around if possible. Now here we have, but the best approach to overcome spending too much. So this whole thing is connected to this right here, right? It's the same noun. If we have the same noun, we don't have to write it twice. What can we do? Pronoun. Just put that. And that will shorten it out completely. We're not trying to overwrite this. We don't need to write 299 words or anything like that. So there you go. So the best approach to overcome that, which is this, spending too much time at work, is, and I'm just going to cut that out as well and just say breaks. And now we have these 2 sentences created. And the last one we need is right here. Okay, and it's the same up here. So first of all, there are 3 words that you want to choose from. And which one is that? I usually just pick the first one. Who cares? Whatever you want. All right, so we need to paraphrase the topic sentence. And we're going to grab that real quick. But first, let's just finish this off. Which one is it? A problem or a cause? It's a problem. So let's just get rid of that. And then this right here, we need noun from the topic. We already know that. It's this, right? It's this. I'm just going to copy it. Every time you see the yellow, you see that we're writing the noun from the essay topic. So in the following essay, I will discuss, right here, I'll read it for you. In the following essay, I will discuss some of the biggest problems associated with spending too much time on work before suggesting possible solutions. Complete sentence, no grammar mistakes. All we did was just put in nouns. I don't want you to think too much. All right, so now the last part, let me just make the paragraph smaller. The last part, it's this right here. We need to create our own sentence. And what is that sentence? It is this, okay? But if you don't like to paraphrase, most people don't, okay? They don't like to think of their own sentences, basically. So now we can basically copy their sentence, right? But right here, it's a question. No doubt about it. It's a question. So how do we change a question to a sentence? Okay, it sounds like a difficult question, right? How do we change this to a sentence? Well, first of all, what makes this a question? This word right here, the what. The what makes it a question. So what if we just remove the what? What if we just said, problems can be created when people spend too much time on work than their personal life? Damn, that's a sentence. Did you know it was that easy? Just by removing the who, what, where, when, that creates your sentence. So let's move that down. we're going to copy that and paste it right here. All right, there's the sentence. I'll put everything together afterwards. So here we have a complete sentence. I am not asking you to complete the template. Once again, don't look at the template like you need to complete something. You don't. Just put a complete sentence afterwards and you are good to go. Now this is quite long, so let's see if we can shorten it. So problems, maybe we can say, once again, let's just put issues, just to paraphrase. Issues can be created. Let's say issues occur. Okay, when workers, let's say workers, right, spend too much time on work. Let's just leave that. Let's just get rid of this. Done. Let's just say that. Okay. One of the most controversial issues today relates to how issues occur when workers spend too much time on work. There you go. No grammar mistakes, right? So now let's move this up and make it a paragraph. And same thing here. Let's move this up and we have a paragraph, right? And then the last thing is here. We need to paraphrase another sentence, the thesis. Where is it? It's right here. It's the same one. All right, so let's take this down here and see if we can change some words around. So I'll paste it right here. Issues occur. Let's say arise. Issues arise when, let's say, staff. Okay, just change some words around. I know we used staff earlier. Let's just change it around and use it here. Spend too much time. Spend too much time. Instead of saying at work, I'll say at the office. How about that? Something related to work, right? And there is your paraphrase. I basically copied their sentence and try to change a couple words around or deleted some words. That is okay. Now let's put this into a paragraph. And what do we have here? What do we have? That is your essay, orale essay. How many words do we need to write in the PTE academic essay? Do you remember? We need to write between 200 to 300. And I try to keep it as low as possible. And as you can see here, we have 220. 220. I wasn't worried about the word count. I just tried to write single, simple sentences. And then I input it into the template one by one. I didn't even read this. I'm not even sure if this makes sense, but I know I'm on topic. I'm talking about the things that they asked me to talk about. Am I making a compelling argument? I have no idea. Am I going to try to write 290 words to try to prove a point? Hell no. And that's how I write the problem solution essay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that was the problem solution essay. And I used my structure template to write that essay. Once again, if you want all of my structure essay templates, just go to my Instagram, send me a message, and I'll send you all of the templates free of charge. If you thought this video was helpful, please check out my other tutorials. Remember to drop a like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.